All right, guys, welcome back. So look at this thing. Take your guess right now what it is, and at the end of this video I will tell you what it is. But we're at a job today, and this thing, we've been working for this lady for years, and this thing had been sitting here the whole time. And honestly, I thought it was a homemade pump house or something. I didn't know what the heck it was. It was all covered in pine needles. And today we had to move it to finish the job, and she asked if we just wanted to take it. The thing is just, all these are stainless steel bolts and nuts, and it's all aluminum. And I'll give you a hint right now, it is actually upside down. But I figured, what the heck, I'll go ahead and take it home. Had to make it work for going on to the trailer with the excavator, and I'll be darned, she fit on there pretty good. It definitely wouldn't have fit if I was hauling the 080. But I set it up right here so it'll kind of block the road from the shop until I get my blinder fence. This is actually the line for the blinder fence. One of you guys have been texting me about railroad ties for fencing. Man, I'll text you back right as soon as I'm done filming this. I don't have time to think. It's so busy right now. And we're gonna go into some stuff on the 08 today. This thing, I'll tell you what, it is just absolutely frustrating the hell out of me. I'll go into more detail when we get it down to the shop, but I just wanted to show you guys this little sucker. And I got to do some weed eating while we're letting that thing cool off, because we got to do some stuff underneath the hood, and I don't want it to be hot. And depending on how everything goes today, we might actually not be towing with that thing tomorrow, because it's ups and downs and check engine lights and holy crap. But in other news, this thing is a freaking beast. I haven't used it yet. My uncle bought this thing and I asked if I could borrow it because I got to do some weed eating around the house. I got my buddy who's staying here. He's doing some weed eating, but you know, everybody's got obligations, so I'm gonna try to knock out, say I get 30 minutes out of these two batteries. So I'm gonna try and do some weed eating real quick. Get 30 minutes out of that battery, and then we'll get to work on this son of a gun. All right, finally made it back down here to the shop. Took care of my weed eating. That Makita weed eater is a freaking champ as far as a cordless battery job. That thing just gets her done. But let's talk about the 08. We're running into more and more issues regarding VGT crap, and I don't know necessarily. I'm just chasing my tail at this point, and it's kind of embarrassing and it's frustrating more than anything. But I did do the recalibration on the turbo. I really hope that doesn't bum my warranty, but everything was exactly where it needed to be. I popped it open. I'll show you guys how that goes, what goes into that process on the turbo that's on the bench. But we'll talk. That truck is 58,000 miles on it. I've got quite a few dollars underneath the hood of that sucker. But VGT was acting up at about 50-something thousand, so I got rid of it. And it turns out the whole problem might have just been my throttle position sensor, because this is the turbo out of it, and I actually don't think there's anything wrong with it, but we're gonna find out if it's sticky or what. But I think it's actually fine, because there was a slight stutter in my exhaust, or in my throttle position sensor. It was like I was kind of tapping the throttle every once in a while, and it was causing my exhaust brake to turn on and off like really quick and really annoying. So I got rid of it. I went to 67 millimeter regular turbo with pack brake behind it. Through other reasons that didn't work out, so I went back with another one of these, but it's a 64 by 67. And I'll tell you, this whole thing has just been one big learning curve, and I'm trying my best to show you guys everything I'm learning along the way, so you don't have to waste the money that I've done trying to figure something out, because like I said, I'm doing circles, and so much work going on that I can somehow manage to fund some of this stuff. But I did go to Wyotech. Somebody was asking to hear my experience on Wyotech. I graduated in 2014 mainly because of these trucks. I wanted to learn more about diesel engines, ins and outs of them, obviously know how they work, but you know, as technology grows, everything changes, and I wanted to know more and more. Wyotech did not really hit on anything. Basically, my feeling on Wyotech, if you have nowhere to go, you like working on mechanical stuff, you go to Wyotech, you spend 40,000 bucks, you get a little piece of paper, and you can go anywhere in the US, maybe even across a pond somewhere, with this little piece of paper. The starting pay is not really that great as a starting level technician. But that being said, I graduated, you know, 4.0, national honors. You know, I put all the effort I could into that school because I paid so much money. I wasn't going to waste it. But as far as learning ins and outs of stuff, I didn't know crap about a VGT, and now I'm, you know, I'm still paying to learn, regardless that there's no teacher around and I'm just making phone calls and making videos. But we're gonna go into this. Basically, VGT, veins inside the turbo are controlled by this actuator right here. People kind of hinted at this actuator could go bad, or the veins inside the turbo are sticking. Now, when I took the actuator off the turbo on the truck right now, which is a reman turbo with bored out, cheated, but it's got a brand new actuator on it. I did the recalibration, everything felt exactly the same. I drove it around for about a day, and then the exhaust brake was dead. There was no exhaust brake. There was nothing. You can hear a difference with a VGT truck versus a regular truck when you hit the throttle. It sounded like a regular truck. The VGT wasn't doing crap. So I unplugged stuff. I put some grease inside the terminals, plugged it back in. Turbo works just fine, pulling. Exhaust brake is garbage. So I have no idea what that is. So I wiggled some stuff around, and I'm thinking we might have a loose connection. So between a loose connection and a possible bad throttle position sensor, I'm in the hole like 7-8 grand. I would have rather just kept this turbo on there and ran it the way it was, because it was being a freaking beast. Part of me wants, well, we're gonna find out right now. Sorry for the long-winded intro, but we're gonna take this apart right here because I want to see roughly where the arm and everything is, and I just want to do some exploring on this. Now, this turbo is actually the core. I'm supposed to turn this in. I haven't done it yet because I've just been so freaking busy. But that is, what the heck? But that is worth $600 as a core for the turbo I bought. So let's find out. Oh no, we're missing the socket, or the Allen that I need. So the process when it comes to recalibrating your actuator, you take the coolant out of your truck. I did a full video on this, but I want to figure out what exactly might be wrong with the truck before I post that video. But we're gonna do some research on this sucker right now. I'm wondering, maybe one of these things in here came apart, one of the wires, and it's just touching, but a loose wire is seeming like a very, very, very good possibility. And it's a pretty much, I was very stressed out yesterday, say that much. But I towed all day with it today, and get this, after all said and done, the exhaust brake, when it does work down, it works through the whole span of the RPMs. Every once in a while it kind of hiccups a little bit, but I don't know what the hell that is. And for the most part, it's still working. Say hello to the camera, Tony.
Hey, buddy, what you doing?
I'm taking apart the old turbo right now.
Oh man, hey, I got a job proposition for you.
Oh, what is that?
Do you want to build DPF fleet, John Deere and Cummins?
Okay, so when it comes to this son of a bee right here, there was two concerns I had, because the turbos, the newer turbos are a little bit different, and this one will be, yeah, the same exact one that is in my truck right now, minus the aftermarket stuff. But when you take this off, there's a bunch of coolant that comes out. You got to make sure you drain your system before that. And the newer turbos right here, all the way, there's a line right there, and you look, maybe you can see it. Let me get you a light. Come on, baby, come on. You look down in there, you pin time it. You see that hole that's inside there, inside the arm, and then there's another one inside the casting. You pin time it. Now the newer ones show the guy going all the way over there like that. Figured, you know what the heck, I'm not gonna do what they say on there, because the newer ones are different than this. The newer ones have a line on both sides. So we full on pin time it right there. You leave this thing hanging. You do not plug this sucker in or hook it back up on there. You put the recalibration, go through that process. It does that real quick. Put it back on there, hit the buttons, recalibrate, and then you're done. It is simple as that. But I'm wondering if one of these suckers came unplugged. And so I'm going to take this apart and find out what really goes in on this one rather than take the brand new one apart that's on the truck. So, yeah, there's no way anything right there is going to get unplugged. I just didn't know what it was going to. That's just a hard piece of plastic. So, that should not be the problem. But what the heck, we're here. Let's take apart the rest of this son of a bee. Well, guess what, guys? They went and put a tamper-proof screw on there. And I don't have the rest of my tools here. I mean tamper-proof, it's real easy to get one of those, but it's got a little dowel in the center of that, so your regular Torx doesn't work. So we're gonna go ahead and just slap this son of a gun back together. But this confirms what I thought about the location of pin timing this one. It is exactly that. The new ones, you go all the way. And this sucker feels fine. It feels like it's been sitting for a while, but for the most part, she feels perfectly fine. You want a little restriction on that? From what I've heard, man, that's what it has, but not too much. So I'm just gonna put this sucker back together. I have a couple ideas with the truck. It's far-fetched, but I have no idea, and I wouldn't expect the EFI Live that's on it to make a difference. I had some trouble booting the recalibrate, but I turned my CP5 switch to stock mode and it worked. So go figure. Maybe something with EFI Live is screwing it up, but from what I'm feeling around, I think we got a loose connection. So I'm going to ease the truck in here, do some more diving, but I wanted to make a video for you guys tearing one of these suckers apart, because I didn't know about this right here, and I'm honestly really debating on putting this sucker on the truck and going back to complete stock life, because we're gonna wait for a couple things. I ordered up here, this is your little turbo speed sensor. We're gonna try that before we completely rule out the turbo. I'm not saying I got a bad turbo or nothing, but there's something funny going on with the truck, and ever since day one putting it on the truck, I had a little lag in the high RPMs, and it did not give me full exhaust brake. So man, it's just a learning curve. I wish there was somebody I could just call, but hopefully by the time this is all said and done, I can just call myself and know this. But we're learning. I tell you, when that turbo wasn't working at all, oh, I don't really stress like that very often, but I was about to just freaking lose my crap. But I'm gonna end this video now. Maybe I'll make another one upon discovery of anything underneath this thing. But for you guys that are new to the channel, I'll just pop the hood on this thing for you real quick. Say, Boone. Battery on the GoPro is about to die, so if I lose you, apologies. So underneath the bird here, yeah, she's got a little kick to her now, I'll give it that, in higher RPMs, but for the most part the 67 or 64 millimeter VGT doesn't feel too much different on the big end. But anyway guys, let's end it right here. Hope you guys enjoyed this little update video. If things don't go to plan tonight, I'm gonna ditch the trailer off that truck and I'm gonna tow with the 3500 tomorrow. I don't mind towing the 3500, I just don't really want to hurt my seats and get dirt over everything. But anyway, see you guys on the next one. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you learned something. And if you have any light to shed on this situation, or what you think about this turbo, because you can tell this thing was not sticking, it's working perfect. So I will probably keep this thing. I was going to use the $600 core charge from this to buy the new tunes, because my last tuner told me to get bent, even though I had been referring anybody that had texted me to him. He claimed I wasn't buying anything off him, but my referral of other people via YouTube wasn't good enough. But anyway, on the next one, old son, maybe I'll do my own tuning one of these days. We'll catch you guys later. Hit them buttons, like, comment, subscribe. Definitely hit like for Boone. He's back here champing it out with his brown jacket on in this 90+ degree weather. Later, guys. Bye.